Most people don't know you can set up a custom headphone mix in FL Studio. Everyone in the recording world utilizes custom headphone mixes to control what they hear while tracking without affecting the actual project. This is just a commonplace practice in ensuring performers feel comfortable and motivated. Because of its recurrent nature, many DAWs have this feature built in, but surprisingly there aren't any videos discussing how to set it up in FL Studio, and it's extremely easy to do. First off, to create a custom headphone mix, you'll need an audio interface with multiple outputs. For this video I'm using a Focusrite 18i20, and you can see in the control software I have 10 pairs of internal output channels. But don't worry, for our task today, we only need one. To set this up, take any channel and rename it to Headphone Mix. Now go to the audio output target and choose a different output than the master channel. I'm selecting outputs 9 and 10 for my headphone mix. Let's dock this channel to the right of the screen so it's far away from the main output. Think of this channel, HP Mix, as a separate submix. Any track you want in the headphone mix can be sent here. Let's say we have a vocal track, a drum track, and a bass track. By default, they output to the master channel. You can balance them for your main mix using the faders. If we also want to send a channel to the headphone mix, simply enable a send from that channel to the headphone mix and adjust the signal with the rotary control. If you want less drums in the headphones, just lower that signal here. The main mix remains untouched. Next, head into the software that controls your interface. Here in Focusrite Control, I can see all external inputs on the top row and internal outputs on the bottom row. If I hit this plus button, I can select which outputs appear and play through my system. You can see I have outputs 9 and 10 toggled on, which is the internal output I selected for my headphone mix earlier. On the left, I select which physical output on my interface I want to control. Output 7 and 8, labeled booth, is where I have a pair of headphones plugged in. Back in the center, I then mute every other internal output except for headphone mix, channels 9 and 10. So the only thing playing through these headphones is 9 and 10 and nothing else. This means our headphone mix from FL Studio is now routed to the correct output. Quick note, if you're working with a larger project, it can get tedious to route each channel individually. Instead, I recommend sending your bus channels to the headphone mix. I'll show you what this looks like in my recording template and how I use it. You can see my headphone mix channel on the far right. By default, the only channels going to it are beat bus and vocal bus for quick global control of either. But let's say, for whatever reason, I need to bring down only the background vocals without affecting the lead vocals. Well, let's do that. Fortunately, in my template I have subgroups within the vocal bus. Channels 4 through 11 are all my vocal subgroups, and all of these are fed into the vocal bus. So I'll select the vocal bus channel and remove the send to the headphone mix. I'll enable a send from each individual vocal subgroup to the headphone mix. So we effectively have a duplicate of what was coming from the vocal bus. I can now control the volume of the background vocal group independently from the rest of the groups. I can do this for any of the subgroups, reverb, delay, or whatever else. And you can do the same thing if you have subgroups going into the beat bus, such as drum bus, bass bus, synth bus, whatever. And it's really as simple as that. Custom headphone mixes in FL Studio aren't only possible, but they're super easy to set up. It's really just about creating a comfortable listening environment for your performers. You can download the recording template I use in this video on my Patreon. It's going to be available to all paid members, so I'm putting the link on the screen. And I have a tutorial explaining how to use it in my workflow up there as well. If you found this video helpful, I'd appreciate it if you liked the video and subscribed. I am Don Parrish, and I'm out of here.
I just caught the black taste to the golden truck. Go with my eyes, go with the carpet, go my side. I need a rap, wait. Nah, I need more zeros. In my bed, I see your girl body. Real talk, hoe come here. My mind is saying